Sriram, were you addressing me?
Yeah, Vaibhav, what is that we have discussed in the last session?
In the last session,
Yeah.
we were talking about how do we do the designing that one fact table will be surrounded by many dimension tables, and fact tables will have facts in it, and uh, we were discussing that inside the fact table it will be connected with um, the master table will have text, attribute, and hierarchy. In the extended star schema, there will be one extra table that will come, and that will be of SID table. So
Okay.
this SID table
Yeah.
will
Yeah,
actually be
one second, Vaibhav. 1 second.
with the
I think I need to discuss this, right? I need to discuss this.
yes.
Fine. So I just want any questions, anybody?
Creative.
Elizabeth, any questions?
Yeah, Sriram.
1 second.
Any questions? Yeah, this is Suraj here.
Yes.
Can you go over the last part, like the last part from the last lesson? Like things, like the last part where you said about this fact table and the key figures.
Yeah.
That part, if you can just quickly go over, that would help me.
Okay. So here, max number of key figures in the fact table is 233. And what is there in the fact table? Along with key figures, dimensional keys are there. And I was telling you there are two fact tables. One is the F fact table, which is going to have detailed data with respect to data loading ratios, and the other one E fact table, which is going to have summarized data. And for query performance, generally we used to prefer that. Next one, dimension table. So which is having dimensional key, which is a system generated key. It's not business key. It's not a business key. It is a system generated key. So along with that, we have SID. SID always refers to char. So in each dimension we can have max 248 chars. Maximum 248 chars. And the max number of dimensions 16. Max number of dimensions are 16, and out of that 3 are system defined dimensions, 13 user defined dimensions. And minimum dimensions should be 4. That is again 3 system and at least 1 user defined dimension. So let me explain you what are the system defined dimensions. So the first one, is that clear, Suresh? Suresh, is that clear to you? Suresh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm speaking.
Yeah. Is that clear? Yep.
Hi Sriram, Garima here.
Yeah, Garima.
We had a question on Friday regarding the
Advantage?
star schema, extended star schema.
Okay. So what is
Which
that?
I think one thing was pending. You had to discuss it today, and that was that why do we need an SID?
SID, that's what I'm coming for. Let me complete these dimensions, and then I'll tell you advantage.
Okay.
So there are some fixed dimensions. Then once that is done, I'll take up that advantage. Right. Fine. So first one, now I'm talking about time dimension. So what is there in the dimension? Simple words. Dimension should have char, right? This is time dimension. Should have time chars, that's it. So in the data analysis, time chars are very important. The business data is analyzed with respect to time intervals. data is analyzed with respect to time intervals. Like let's say for example, weekly sales analysis, monthly sales analysis, quarterly revenue analysis, like this. So for example, month, for example, day, month, quarter, year, half year, like this. And very importantly, in time dimension, always SAP delivered time cares are placed. So for example, 0 cal day. What is this 0? I'll tell you. 0 cal day, 0 cal week, 0 cal week, nothing but calendar week, 0 cal month, nothing but cal month, cal year month, 0 cal year, calendar year, that is like this. And 0 is the prefix for SAP delivered objects. So ours is a package. In the package there are some pre-delivered objects. Always the pre-delivered objects, they are prefixed with 0 in SAP BW system. There are other prefixes also. So I'll come to that one second. 0 is the prefix for SAP delivered objects. 0 is the prefix for SAP delivered objects.
Sriram, one quick question.
Yep. Rajesh.
Sorry, I missed the last session. But is there any difference between a dimension and a column in a table?
Dimension
And a column in a table?
dimension is group of columns.
Oh, okay.
Dimension table is nothing but group of columns, which is going to have dimensional key and other keys like surrogate IDs.
Okay.
I think you're there in the last session, right, Brajesh? You don't have any. You're not missed.
No, I was not there on Friday.
Okay. Okay. No problems. No problems. I think as soon as I've shared with you the recording, I think you can.
Yeah, it did not download correctly, Sriram.
Cancelled, I think. That's okay. I'll send you after the session just a moment.
Yeah, that would help. Like I have the recording, but somehow it is not showing the screen. The picture it's not visible. The only sound is coming.
Oh, is it? I think you need to install some codecs. What is the system? Mac you're using?
No, I'm using the Windows 8.
Just
Like
try
others,
to-
I am able to see.
Yeah,
This
okay.
is the only recording where I'm not able to see. I installed that codec.
Okay. That's okay.
Sriram, back up here.
Yeah,
I
my
had it
bad.
out.
Yeah.
You started just now by saying something about the time dimensions units. They are only SAP defined. Is it possible for a user also to define something?
We have these 3 dimensions. Why to define again user?
No, I'm talking about the time dimension. Say, for example, you have said that the time dimension, it can be measured either as a day or as a week or as a month or as a year. Let's say I have to measure it in the unit of 15 days.
Okay.
Or I have to measure it in the unit
Then you
of
can create a generic
2 weeks.
column, but it should not be to the time dimension. It can be placed to the user defined dimension. I told you
Okay,
some date and time, right, Vaibhav?
Yes, that you have defined, they will come under key figures. If
Chars
they
also.
will be using
Chars also. Date is
chars.
there. Yeah. Date is there for chars as well, right?
Yes.
Alphabetics, alphanumerics,
Okay.
numerics constant, date and time.
Yes,
So,
understood.
but that generic column cannot be placed to this time dimension. Only SAP delivered columns can be placed to time dimension. The time dimension always, what is this? Vaibhav.
Yes, always SAP delivered time cards are placed.
So you can create a generic dimension, user defined dimension you can say, then in that you can place it. Good.
Okay.
Yep. So time, I'm talking about time dimension. Time cares like SAP delivered time cares like this, they are placed under time dimension. What is the need? I told you like this. Most of the time the business is analyzed with respect to time intervals. And there are other prefixes also, like I'll show you. 9 is the prefix for APO, or you can say supply chain management. So in supply chain management, all the objects are going to be, all the SAP delivered objects are prefixed with 9. And 8 is the prefix for data marts. What is this marting? I'll show you. So these are the standard prefixes, which are reserved for SAP. 6 for database objects, like this. So in this case for us, 0 is reserved for SAP BW. Next, when I'm talking about unit dimension. So first one time dimension, second one unit dimension. The referencing objects, both currency, the referencing objects, that is both currency and units, are placed to this dimension. The referencing objects are placed to this particular dimension. Let me tell you like this. I was telling you revenue amount should be followed with currency, like 1000 US dollars, pounds, like this, and quantity should be followed with units, like quantity as 120, could be tons, could be cans, could be gallons, etc. So amount followed by currency and quantity followed by units. I told you this is the key figure which is placed under fact table. What about this currency and units? Like I'm using one SAP delivered column, like let's say 0 currency. This is just a column name. Whatever may be the column name, whatever may be the currency column name, it could be 0 doc underscore currency also, document currency. It could be company code currency. It could be anything like this. But always they used to refer to a standard table, that is T currency table. That's what I was telling you. Now, so in this case, this 0 currency or 0 document currency or local currency, these are all currency columns which are placed to referencing columns. They're all placed to unit dimension. Revenue is the key figure which is placed to fact table. What about this? Should be placed. I told you. So let's say transactions are there in Indian rupees in India. Let's say INR. So from this INR, I want to convert to US dollars since the parent company is there in US. This is a subsidiary, Indian subsidiary. So the transactions from Indian subsidiary should be updated to should be updated to parent company. Should be updated to parent company. Means to say from INR we need to convert to US dollars. So as part of that, this particular columns are going to be useful. This is the referencing column, currency referencing. So for example, keep in mind 0 currency as of now. And it can be unit also, same way, 0 unit. Otherwise, 0 base unit of measure. Like this. So the referencing objects like 0 currency, 0 local currency, document currency, 0 unit, 0 base unit of measure, like this, they're all placed for unit dimension. Any question, anybody? If you want to see, I'll show you some schema here so that you'll get some clear understanding. So I'm just going by display data model. We are going to design these schemas. Don't worry, this is our info cube. So when we are designing info cube, I'll show you the complete schema. So unit dimension, this is, you can see here, 0 currency, 0 unit. And the key figures are placed like revenue, quantity, cost, They're all placed under key figure folder, and this is your unit dimension, 0 currency and 0 unit. Is that clear? So first one, time dimension. Second one, unit dimension. Third one, I'm going by now data package dimension. Hope you're clear. If you're having any queries, just ask me, no problem. Don't mind. So I'm talking about data package dimension. So like this, let me tell you. From the source, using ETL, we are uploading the data. So it could be at regular intervals. The data loading can be at regular intervals. Could be hourly. It could be daily. Could be weekly. Could be monthly, etc. Depends on the requirement. Assume that I'm just doing some hourly loads. So morning 8 a.m. I did some data load. 9 a.m. I did some data load. 10 a.m. I did some data load, like this. Generally, the data loads are going to happen off the business hours, like midnight. Since to reduce the burden on OLTP system, generally it is advisable to load the data of the business hours. That is okay, right? So now here I'm just talking about data package dimension, and with respect to that I'm telling you the loads are going to happen at regular intervals. So for every load, system will assign one unique ID. For every data load, system is going to assign one unique ID, like 1, 2, 3, goes on. It goes on. So these IDs are known as, so for every data load, let me put over here, system assigns one ID known as request ID. Literally we are requesting data from source. So request ID, which are maintained in data package dimension. So what is the need of this request ID? The load can be successful, the load can be failed. The load can be successful and the load can be failed. So if it is successful, I want to monitor how many records are transferred from the source. If it is failed, why it is failing, which data load it is failed, I want to monitor. What is the cause of the error, I want to monitor. All your data load history can be verified by using this request ID. All the data load can be verified by using this request ID. That's what I need to say. So first one, time dimension. Time chars are placed. Second one, unit dimension. The referencing objects, currency and unit referencing. Next one, data package dimensions. That's what. So let's do it out. Now let us go on to the advantage. Any question here? Anybody? Right then. I think it's clear to you. So time chars, unit referencing, data package, request ID. Simple. So now let's go on to the advantage of extended star schema. So you got some idea on now extended star schema as well as star schema. So what is the advantage of extended star schema, or otherwise what is the advantage of SID table? Any guessing, anybody? So now itself I was telling you, from the source using ETL we should upload data to either to warehouse or to SAP BW system. Data warehouse is based on star schema. If it is a SAP BW system, it is based on extended star schema. It is based on extended star schema. Star schema where in the center fact table surrounded by dimension table. Dimension table holds master data. Inside the dimension table, the master data. Whereas extended star schema, the extended star schema, fact table, the structure, dimension table doesn't hold master data. SID table, it connects to master data tables, that is attribute and text and hierarchy. Master data is outside the dimension. Now let me tell you. So it's not one schema that we are going to design. Let's say I want to analyze sales. Otherwise I want to analyze purchasing. Otherwise I want to go on with production. So it's not that one schema that we are going to design. There are going to be many schemas. So if we go on with sales schema, so let's say for example I want to analyze sales data. So where I'm going by fact table. So dimension table, let's say for example employee dimension. So what is this? Inside the dimension table we have employee master. I got one more dimension, let's say for example product dimension. So what to do inside the dimension? Again product master. Fine, that is. Now I'm going by purchasing schema. So again fact table, dimension table. So let's say for example this is material dimension. So inside that we have material master. So again we'll be having, let's say I want to have product dimension, since the product and material master both are mandatory for me. So again we are having here product master. So the duplication of master data here in case of conventional star schema. If we talk about this extended star schema, let me tell you, fact table, then dimension table. Only once we are going to maintain master data. Either it is employee master or product master or material master, one set of master data, but everywhere, so we are going to have SID table. For every master table, you are going to have SID table. Now what happens? We are just duplicating only SIDs. So the dimension table doesn't hold entire set of master data, it's going to hold only SID. So what is happening for the dimension? Only SID is copying. So if it is related to employee dimension, it connects to employee master. If it is related to employee dimension, it connects to employee master. So if it is related to product dimension, it connects to product master. So one set of master data for all the schemas. Again fact table. So let me go ahead, dimension table. Other schema, let's say. Again SID. So this SID, if it is related to material, it connects to material. If it is related to employee, it connects to employee. Again, any schema, only SIDs are duplicated. They are the master data referencing IDs. SID. Only SIDs are duplicated in the schema. Only master data referencing ID, which is reducing entire set of master data duplication. If it is conventional star schema, master data for every dimension, master data is mandatory. But there also there is some turnaround. There is something called snowflake which is going to avoid this. Again this which is going to reduce the master data duplication. And what is the basic advantage here? See here, if it is star schema, the table joins, everything is automatically, everything is manually done. But if it is a SAP BW system, everything is automatically created. Every join, every table is automatically created. We don't do it manually. And the advantage of this SID is now it reduces master data duplication. It reduces master data duplication. Only referencing IDs are duplicated. So which is going to reduce, which is going to avoid duplicating entire set of master data. Right, Garima, is that clear?
Can you take an example in a real life example so that the concept is more clear?
Right, here you can see here, what is this employee dimension, right?
Like for example,
what is this here? This is one schema, let's say sales schema. Say for example, so this is employee master, employee ID. In fact, this is in dimension table. So if you look at your table, the table is going to have only SIDs. So this, because of SID, it can get your employee master. This is product. And because of your SID, it can get product master. So this dimension is going to have only SID. If you look at another schema, I got one more schema. So again, same master data. So one second. Again, you can see that product and employee. In any other schema, the master data can be called because of your surrogate IDs. Yep, Garima. You can see here, I'll show you one more.
Sriram, sorry to.
One second here.
Sriram, Vaibhav here.
Yeah.
Can you just show one example on Excel that this is the schema, these are the things, these are the tables that will be created, and then maybe it will become more clear.
One second. Anyhow, during designing InfoCube, I'll show you every table. You can see here. One second. Let me show you in the table format. So there is a transaction code. During InfoCube design, I'll show you these tables. List schema, there is a transaction code. Just execute. So this is fact table here, connected with the dimension table. This is product dimension and channel dimension. And this is, you can see, this is a master table. SID table you can see here. And you can see PQM, these are all master tables. If you look at this table naming convention, same tables are going to be there in other schema also. One second. Let me show you. So this is a planned sales, and even you can go on with actual.
One quick question.
Yep.
On your previous screen now, how can you say by looking whether it's a master table or fact table?
I'll show you during design. I'll tell you one by one. There are a lot of things I need to discuss. Here only the basic structure I'm telling you. So what is P table, what is Q table, what is X table, what is Y table? There are many tables, D table, F table. These are all system generated tables. When we are designing InfoCube, we have a concept called InfoCube. That time I'll tell you. One second. I think if something is here, I'll show you. So during design of InfoCube, I'll be telling you these are the types of InfoCubes, and you can see the naming conventions. Fact table naming conventions, dimension table naming conventions. These are the user defined table naming conventions, and so these are the system defined table naming conventions. Standard naming conventions are there. I'll show you. So as of now, I'm just trying to show you. And one second, master data. One more things are there. Tabs. Yep. One second before this. One more should be the tabs one. You can see here there are some tables. P table, Q table. P table is time independent master data. Q table, time independent master data. X table, Y table, S table, M table, T table. This is your text table. These are all your attribute tables. And these are all hierarchy tables, HIJK tables. I'll go on, don't worry. One by one I'll take up. But as of now, I'm just trying to say what is the advantage, basic advantage behind your SID. So what is advantage? It reduces your master data duplication. Master data can be shared by many schemas. Schema is an InfoCube here. If you look at this, this is planning data, this is sales actuals data. For both the InfoCubes, the master data is common. If you look at the master table, there are common tables here. So here, these are your master tables. You can see PQM. And I'll show you the other InfoCube also. So what is the naming convention here? C01. Earlier it was C03. Now this is C01. Keep in mind. One second. So I'll remove this. C01. Execute. Fact table. It is a different table with respect to C01. So let me open another session. Otherwise, list schema. So C03. execute. So you can see this is C03 and this is C01. Means this is the fact table for sales actuals, and this is the fact table for sales plan, let's say, for example. And you can see that it is connected to dimension tables. So again, the dimension tables are with respect to InfoCube. This is C03 dimension tables and this is C01 dimension tables. Fine, they are different tables again. And if you expand this, so this is SID table, master table. Let's say customer. You can see these are all master tables. All these are master tables. So PH2, let us see first. Product and product group, you can see here. Now this is with respect to C01 and let us see with respect to C03. So product, you can see same set of tables. So what is happening here? So master data is used in sales actuals. Master data is also used in sales planning. That's what the common set of master data for both the info cubes. Getting my point, Garima?
Actually, the thing is that we are getting confused in this particular, when you show the system names and the names of the info cubes, the things are not that clear there. So would it be possible that on the notepad you just take an example schema A and then dimension table B1 and something like that, so that, I mean, give an example of how the duplication is avoided. I could not understand it as of now.
1 second then.
Yeah.
So let me So simple, this is just look at this. What is this? Fact table, right? Just let me have some interaction, guys. This is fact table, right? This is related to which one? Sales actuals. And this table is different. Again, let us see. And this is sales planning. That fact table is different. And you can see here the other one. Let me go on to the next one, dimension table. You can see these are the different dimensions, and even these dimension tables are also different, since this is related to sales actuals. You can see C01, C01 everywhere. Fact table related to C01, and the dimension tables related to C01. So here also there are the different tables. You can see C03 dimension tables. So fact table here, if you look at this, in our case, the master data is loaded to master tables. What are your master tables? Attribute tables, text tables, and hierarchy tables, including SID tables. And the transaction data is loaded to fact table and dimension table. So in fact, dimension table is going to have SID. I told you in the last session, the SIDs from SID table, they are copied to dimension tables. Now if you look at this clearly, see here, either it is sales schema or sales actuals or sales planning, anything, the fact table and dimension tables are different. So assume that this is sales actuals. Assume that this is sales planning. So like we have fact table, we have dimension table for this, we have fact table, and we have dimension table. Let's say for example, so this is C01 and this is, let's say, C03, say for example. Now this dimension table is having SID, this dimension table is also having SID. Now both the tables are going to share one set of master data. Like assume that this is product. So what is going to happen? This is a product master, SID table as well as product ID here. So what is that here? We are going to have SID related to product ID, no? What is there in the dimension table? Right. So again, if you look at this attribute table, product ID and followed by product group. Right. Now what is going to happen? Assume that here I'm having product dimension. So here also I'm having product dimension. This SID is also related to product ID. Now what happens here? So what happens here? This SID connects to this master data. This schema SID also connects to this master data. Now similarly, if I'm having another dimension like employee dimension, so we'll be having another master table. Let's say for example this is a SID related to employee ID, and which connects to which table? Employee ID master table, attribute table, employee region, let's say for example. So when you're having one more dimension here, let's say I'm having one more dimension for this particular schema, that is employee dimension. So what is there in the dimension? SID. It doesn't hold care, it is going to have SID. So what is going to happen here? This SID connects to this master data. So assume that again I got employee dimension here. Again employee dimension. So what is there here? We have again SID which points out to same master data, same set of master data. So here master data common for this sales planning schema as well as master data is common for sales actual schema. Only one set of master data which can be shared by many info cubes or many schemas. Getting my point now? Only SID is getting duplicated,
Yeah.
which is avoiding duplication of all this entire set of master data. Only SID is duplicated in your schema. So you can see here SIDs are getting duplicated. Right, Graham, is that clear now?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
So anyhow, I'll show you all the tables during InfoCube design.
And again, Sriram,
Yep.
how is the concurrency maintained between different SID tables?
Currency?
Concurrency.
And in concurrence in the sense, SIDs are different for each master table, no? This SID is related to employee and this SID is related to product, no? So for every master value, like let's say employee 100 SID2, last session I was telling you, employee 200 SID3. See, for employee ID, in employee master table, employee ID is a unique. Similar to that, surrogate ID is also going to be unique. This is a different table. This is SID table. And again, this is SID table related to employee. This is SID related to product. So this SID reflects always product master. This SID always reflects employee master.
Can you give an example for, say, SID for product ID? So I understand it will contain a product ID. What else it will contain?
SID is going to be there in SID table. I think you're you need to go through your last session. Rajesh, yep. SID table consists of, one second, let me insert the formula. Yep, tell me, Rajesh.
Okay, or in other words, like against SID, PRD ID, right? You have PRD ID group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, can you explain it again? Like what's the relation?
So this is product ID connects to attribute table. This is attribute table, Brijesh. This is SID table. And this is going to be connected to attribute table.
All right. So if I just say like in the sales plan schema, you have a product ID table,
Okay.
a product dimension table, and you have a SID assigned to, I mean, you can pick up a product ID from there.
Okay. SID this is. It's not the product ID directly. So here this dimension is going to connect it to the SID table. SID in turn connects to the attribute or text or hierarchy.
Okay.
I think you need to go through your last schema adjustments. Last session I'll give you the recording. Just go through that, and if you want to see 1 second, I'll just show you.
Or is it possible, Sriram, if we can explain with some data?
We are going to see that. As of now, I'm just showing you overall structure. I need to design. Maybe it's going to take out at least 4 or 5 sessions to come out there. We'll take up that. This is the schema that you're missing, Brijesh. You can see. Even here also we can see here. So this is your transaction data. Nothing but fact table and dimension table, nothing but your info cube structure. And these are all your master tables: attribute, text, and hierarchy. Attribute, text. Don't worry, I'll give you the video session. Go through that, then we'll look into this, Brijesh.
Yeah, I think that will help. Thank you.
Yeah, you need to go through that. Hope it is clear to you.
Yes, Sriram, I'll go through that and let you know.
Yeah. Garima, is that clear now? Vaibhav?
Yeah.
Vaibhav, is that clear?
Yes, slightly.
So just table, you need to understand the table relationship. How the tables are joined. Fact table, dimension table, SID, and master data, that is attribute, text, and hierarchy. So dimension table holds SID. SID table holds. What is there in SID table? SID followed by your char ID. That's what. So this is your transaction data, and this is your master data. So master data, that's what I was telling you. Master data is loaded to attribute, text, and hierarchy, including SID table. Transaction data is loaded to fact table and dimension. So if you're having any kind of confusion, just go through that once again. I'll take up that tomorrow. So those questions I'll take up tomorrow. The questions I'll take up.
Sriram, if we can have some Sriram, if we can have some live examples, like if you're
These are
showing
live
the table
examples
with the
only.
data.
Yes. Whatever I'm showing you, they are related to live examples.
Okay.
We are going to design that inside. Right.
Sriram, can you? I am on Skype actually. Can you share the Friday's recording as well as notepad?
1 second.
Yeah, I also need it, Sriram, Suraj.
One second.